Good.
Hey, Mary, it's good to get back together with you
Hi,
again.
Sue. Sorry I was running late.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah.
No worries. Life happens.
Yeah.
So, school, scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about how your school's running right now?
Well, really good. We came back off of, winter break. A lot was going on, and, we had those snow days, and, it's crazy, and testing window is like on the horizon. So all those things are running through my head, but
You have a lot of plates spinning right now.
I do.
You
yeah.
do.
Well, that's a principle.
It is, absolutely. So today our focus, Mary, is to look at the survey data. Do you remember the principal survey data?
Oh,
The feedback.
do you have my teacher's data?
I have your teacher's
Yay!
data, and I know that you did your data.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to put those together.
Okay.
I've done that in a way for you that I'm very excited to share with you that I think will help deepen your understanding of the data.
Okay.
Our job today really is to identify some of those discrepancies in what your perceptions are about the impact of your feedback, the timing of your feedback, and your skill as an evaluator around content, around instruction, and around giving that feedback.
Okay.
And then possibly a discrepancy between what teachers would say in those same 3 areas. So remember, that was the purpose of the survey. The other piece that I just wanted to remind you of is this is baseline data.
Oh,
Do you
that's right. We're
remember
doing
that?
it again.
Right.
Yes. At the end of the school year?
Right. We
Okay.
did it in kind of that unfortunate window, Stock show was on. I know that's
Yeah.
a challenge for your district.
Yeah.
So many people are out with their pigs.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so-
I'm anxious to see what they said versus what I said. I'm
Right,
excited.
Right, I think it's a
Okay.
great growth opportunity.
Yeah.
So, we had that window, and now all that data's been put together.
Great.
So, remember that in June, we'll do another survey.
Okay. That's great.
It's an opportunity to
Yeah.
think about it, isn't it?
Wonderful.
Right. So, what I'm going to do is, just a moment, I forgot to grab one thing from my desk.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Oh, thank heaven my desk was right there,
Okay.
next to yours. All right. So, one of the things that we're using today is a data-driven dialogue protocol. And this is something that your superintendent is interested in testing in your district.
Okay, I think he talked to us about that at our last meeting.
Did he? Okay.
Is this a copy I can keep?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Excuse me, that copy is for you. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of walk through this together, but I
Okay.
wanted you to have the roadmap of where we're going.
Wonderful.
So we've already done the introduction and the background. Let me just turn this
Great.
for you, and then I really will let it be yours.
Okay.
But I know it's important to you to know the whole thing.
You know that about me
I
already.
know that
Okay.
about you.
Uh-huh.
And so the first thing I want to do with you is, before you even see your data, you've already made your predictions. I'll remind you of some of your data answers.
Oh, okay.
And then I want to get your
Good.
thinking about what you were thinking about as you went through that, and maybe predict a little bit about the teachers. We'll look
Okay.
at the data together. I want to know what pops out at you.
Mm-hmm.
That's that next set. And then we'll move into just describing the data through that what pops out at you. And then what we're going to do is to move into what might have surprised you, what was unexpected. And then, I wonder why. So we'll begin
Okay.
to think about, why are the things that popped out, or the surprised and unexpected, why might that be?
Great.
Once we get to that point then, Mary, you may feel like, all of this data. And I don't want you to get data paralysis.
Okay.
And so you may decide at that point that you just want to step back, have some time to yourself to reflect. Certainly, I'm here, a phone call away. So
Okay.
you may want some time to reflect. Or what you may think about is, right off the top of my head, I know I want to think about these 3 things.
Okay.
And can you support me in that? Or
Okay.
this is where I'll get support. So that's our plan for today.
Okay.
Do you
No,
have questions about that?
no, that's good. This is great. Okay.
All right.
Well, I'm
So-
anxious to try it.
There you are. We're ready to jump in. So, you did your principal survey.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a few notes, Mary.
Okay.
Is that okay? And
Yeah.
basically, they'll be right here. You can see what I'm writing.
Okay.
And I'm happy to share with these with you at the end. I'll put them in an email to you.
That would be great. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I know that that's another preferred thing that you like.
It is,
As a
yeah.
reminder of each meeting. And so, first of all, Mary, as you were doing that survey, can you set yourself back to that week? As you were doing that survey, what were some of the assumptions that you made as you were going through that?
Well, this year I really sort of made some shifts in how I was doing observation. So I was thinking about that. I'm getting into classrooms more this year, and instead of doing longer formal observations, I'm doing more short. So I'm getting in there more often, but for shorter periods of time. So that sort of shift in my practice was in my mind, and just sort of some of the feedback I've gotten from the staff already this year about that. And then I probably, just sort of the post-conferences, the sort of end-of-year conferences I had with my teachers last year, and sort of how they were feeling, and things they shared with me there. So I think those were maybe a little bit about what we've been doing around professional development. So those were just some of the things I was thinking about when I answered.
Okay, so you were pulling from a variety of sources.
Yeah.
Teacher feedback, some things that you've taught that you hope have been learned through professional development.
Yeah.
You've shifted some practice, it sounds like, based on some feedback that you've received.
That's the biggest.
And you're just getting some of that informal feedback from teachers, because teachers talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right? So all of that was in your head as you filled out this survey.
Yeah. And how I'm feeling. I mean, obviously, the obvious of how I'm feeling it's going, my own perception through feedback with teachers and things like that. Yeah.
And have you had an opportunity to do that kind of feedback reflection in your 15 years as an evaluator?
No, this is definitely, what I did for observation and feedback and evaluation 15 years ago when I became I became an AP, absolutely not. This is so different. And so it's just sort of how each year what I'm trying to change or improve.
Okay.
And really this year was about getting in there more. I just had to make my schedule. I had to get in there more often. And to do that, to make it work with my time and my schedule, it was about shorter observations. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you've already made some changes based on feedback that you've received. So that'll be interesting to see how those changes played out.
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
this, because it certainly was reflected in your part of the survey.
What phase do we get to look at?
Right here.
Okay, that's good to know.
You
All
are
right.
here.
I'm there. Good to know. Okay.
Close.
Close. I'm there. Yeah.
So, Mary, what are some predictions that you would make about your teacher data?
Well, and I made some of them in my questions. So I think I heard from teachers last year at the end, that they were happy with their ratings, that they felt they represented them as teachers. But I even knew I needed to get in more, because I have a good sense. I have a really great staff. They really work hard, and they're really great teachers. And so I have a sense of where they are on the rubric, but I knew I needed to get in more to try to up the feedback I was giving them. So, but yeah, I think I knew they were pretty happy about the process.
So happy about the process, and I heard you say happy about their ratings?
Yeah, I think they were. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's a
right.
great staff.
A great staff.
Yeah, I have a couple teachers that I've really been pushing on, so, I would probably anticipate, there might be a couple that aren't very happy with me right now, but I know I'm doing the right work. And
Okay.
So.
So you would predict some outliers?
Oh, yeah,
Who are
for
a little bit angry with you, and you'll be able to kind of let go of that?
Yeah.
Possibly?
Yeah, I think they're frustrated and haven't really made a shift yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really working hard. That's one of the things I wanted to make sure I talked to you about today, is maybe helping me process through some of the work I'm doing with those one or two people.
Okay,
So.
let me make a note of that. All right, thank you. Okay, Mary, are you ready to jump into the data?
I am, yes.
All right. So, as we come together, first of all, I just want to show you this data.
Okay.
And you can have this when I walk out.
Oh, great. Okay.
So, this is yours, already coded, good to go. What I did, Mary, is I aligned the principal survey feedback with this teacher feedback. So you can see
Oh,
that.
my questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
21 teachers.
Oh, that's pretty good. I have 25, so.
Oh, my
that's pretty
goodness,
good.
what a great response rate you
Okay.
had. So 21 of your teachers responded, and your response in your principal survey, I have put a square around, okay? The other thing I did, Mary, if I can just kind of put all of it in front of you,
Yeah.
recognizing your whole to part,
Oh, this is great.
what you can see I did is, these three are really about timing.
The timing of
These-
my observation and feedback?
The timing of your
Okay.
feedback.
All right.
Yes, thank you for that clarification. These are about impact of feedback, and then there are more over here about the impact of feedback
Great, okay.
on their practice. And then these are about the evaluator being prepared to
Okay.
do the work.
So this is aggregate of all my teachers that filled it out.
Yes.
And then the boxes are my individual corresponding responses. Okay.
That's correct. So
Great.
does this type of coding
No, I
work for you?
love the chunking of
Okay.
it for timing and yeah, this is great.
Okay, so you feel like you have what you
Yeah,
need here.
thank you.
All
This
right,
helped prepared me to look at it.
okay.
Okay,
Why don't you take just a minute to look at it?
okay.
And the question I'm going to ask you is, what popped out for you?
Okay,
And then I'm going to follow up with what surprised you. Okay?
okay, all right. So right away, what popped out is my timing, my new implementation of trying to get with them sooner.
Uh-huh.
They saw that.
Okay.
I bet you if we had asked that in previous years, their answers would have been different. So I
Right.
think, that sort of directly after and within the short window. So you don't
Right.
see that delayed. Is it 4.76 one person?
Yes, it is. It's
Okay,
one
quick
teacher.
math, 21, yeah. So there's one person that thinks it's 2 weeks out, but everybody else felt like it was in that shorter window. So that popped out at me right away, that maybe that the scheduling I'm doing is, they're seeing that.
Ah, so
that's-
positive is
yeah.
the timing, and you attribute that to your scheduling?
I think so.
All right.
I know it's helped me.
Yes.
Because in, previous years, you have every good intention of doing it timely, and then, if things get away from you.
Okay.
So I think that popped out at me right away. And then I think the other thing is that the teachers felt that I understand, that I can identify instructional practices, that the prepared section that you
Yes.
have. So that's great, that they feel I know what I see, and so that's great. But I guess that sort of is odd, where there's quite a few percentages on the impact of my feedback that's a little bit different than mine. So that sort of idea that they feel like I'm prepared and I understand, but then maybe the impact isn't there. So
Okay.
that was my first sort of.
All right, so what you're wondering right now is, they see me as prepared, and yet, when I give them the feedback, particularly in the area of classroom management,
Yeah, that's real, really
yeah,
low.
it's not really leading to some specific improvement in the teachers.
Yeah,
So that's interesting, isn't it?
very.
And is that a surprise to you, particularly around classroom management?
Yeah, I guess it just makes me wonder, are they wanting more feedback around classroom management? Do they not recognize the feedback I'm giving that I sort of view as classroom management? I mean, do they have in their mind that I've got to talk to them about, I don't know. It just makes me wonder. And
So
it's just
all
making
questions.
me think about how much I am doing that. And also, yeah, wow. I mean, even the recommendations for resources, I mean, like, I feel like I do that a lot, so I don't know. It's,
Okay.
interesting.
So there are things that you feel like you're giving a lot of feedback around, classroom management, you're helping them with resources, and yet a fairly large percent,
I mean, more than I would expect.
more than you would expect,
More than I would expect.
do not see that impacting.
Yeah.
All right. So how about if we move into exploring that piece, or is
Yeah.
there more that you're interested
No,
in
I
looking
think
at?
that's, the way you chunked it for me, I could really, like, I'm seeing themes jump out quickly, so thank you for doing that.
All right.
Okay.
So, knowing that you like to keep track,
Yeah.
we are here now.
Okay.
Okay. So, when we think about this, what are some conclusions, or not conclusions, let's skip that for a minute. What are some explanations you have for maybe your teachers not taking your feedback and having it impact their learning?
I don't know. I mean, they're really happy, you know, at the end of your conferences last year, and I'm giving them feedback. You know, I'm doing different forms of feedback. I mean, some's just written. I'm not, you know, for all my increased observations, some's written and some's face-to-face. So I'm just wondering if I'm missing the mark for them, if it's just a definition thing, am I not being clear enough? I don't know.
So when you talk about clear enough, what does that mean? Help me understand the
Explicit. Maybe I'm
feedback.
not being explicit enough.
Okay, so maybe part of an explanation would be that it's not explicit feedback?
Yeah.
You're wondering about that?
I'm wondering about that. You know, of course, I have different groups of teachers in my mind. And then I'm also wondering, you know, I have some great teachers. And so, you know, like, some of them, I don't even bother talking to them about classroom management. So, like, did they record that because I'm not talking to them about it when I view they don't need it?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm
So
wondering.
that's an interesting explanation as well.
Yeah.
All right. Any other explanations you might have for some of this data?
You know, I know, you know, there's a couple people, like I said before, that I know are unhappy with me, but I don't know. I guess I'm just really struggling with the sort of, that they rated me higher, if you will, on being prepared and recognizing things, but then they're not seeing an impact, as you titled it, impact of feedback. So that's what I'm really pondering right now is,
Okay.
I'm obviously giving them feedback. They feel I'm prepared. But I'm just wondering, is the impact really working? And sort of going back to our conversation, our first conversation
Yes.
about where I was rating teachers and still what, you know, our student growth. I mean, you know, we just got a lot going on with our kids, and so we've got great teachers. I don't know. I'm just wondering about the impact of my feedback now.
Okay. So you just added an additional layer, Mary.
I did.
So recognizing that the teacher rating is fairly high in this building,
Yeah,
these teachers are working very hard,
they are.
not
lot of great
necessarily
teachers.
getting the student growth results that these students deserve. And then what you did is you added that layer underneath it just now of, I wonder if maybe my feedback is not having the impact on these teachers in order to increase their effectiveness and move towards student growth. Do you believe that's what you said?
I did.
Sort of?
I totally said that. I
Okay.
just, what I'm thinking about is just, you know, just that direct connection to my feedback to them and helping them grow. Like I said, I've got a lot of great teachers, and to be honest, you're making me think about how I target my feedback differently for different teachers.
So talk more about that, please.
I think, you know, we all have that big bucket of great teachers, and you know, I'm going in there, I'm observing, I'm getting data for their rubric to identify all those professional practices that they're doing so well, and you know, when they're doing really well, I'm not giving them as much feedback.
Okay, so what do you think the impact is of not giving as much feedback when they're doing well?
Well, I just don't think it's as necessary, you know, I mean, I guess I tier my teachers, you know? There's teachers that I need to provide more coaching, support, and
Right.
feedback for, and that's the priority.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we may want to explore
Mm-hmm.
the impact of feedback on teachers who are rocking it.
Yeah,
We may want to explore that together.
yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so let me make a note. I'll draw a
Yeah.
rock.
Yeah, because, you know, I was thinking one of the things that, you know, I wanted you to maybe help support me with those couple teachers I'm really spending a lot of time with that I view as my struggling teachers. But maybe it's both
Okay.
ends
So
of the spectrum.
Both ends, all right. Great, so we have moved a little bit into possible causes for this, and now what we've moved into is a little bit of planning for next steps.
Okay.
Mary, what do you need to do right now to help you deepen your understanding of this data and move to next steps? And let me go a little bit deeper. Do you need time to reflect on your own?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to dig into it more and think. I mean, you're making me think more, but I do want to dig into it a little bit more.
Okay. And would you like to set a couple of next steps now? Set up some time for us to just talk a little bit about the impact of feedback on higher end and how maybe to get there?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just kind of stop everything, reflect, and then come back to
No,
next
I'm okay
steps?
to reflect, you know, and I can reach out to you if something pops up that after I look at my data. But I definitely just want to schedule some time
Okay.
to look at the impact of feedback. And, you know, I'd really like to get in some classrooms with you. Specifically, I was thinking the classrooms with the teachers. I'm really, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over to those struggling teachers.
Right.
And so I'd love to maybe have you know, second set of eyes with me.
Great.
Yeah.
So recognizing that you have all this knowledge, and all of your teachers, or most of your teachers recognize that, then let's focus on the impact. And one of the ways to do that is you and I doing some side-by-side
Yeah.
observations.
That would be
Having
great.
some conversations and then designing some feedback.
Oh,
that
so
focus
that
on
next step,
implicit.
like not just go, okay.
Or explicit.
No, I would love to not only go in the room, but then plan the feedback together.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right. So that'll be next Tuesday?
Yeah.
That's typically the day we
Yeah,
meet?
no, that works.
So I'll just pop in at 8:15 when I come every Tuesday,
Okay.
and we'll do that. So Mary, as you do this reflection, what do you think will be happening to you emotionally?
I'm okay. I'm just
Okay.
really pondering a couple things. I mean, you know, I just want to, the feedback thing just won't leave my head right now. So I really want to get into these other questions here deeper, and I guess I just really want to think about, you know, I said agree on a lot of these. You know, it's like agree, and I just want to think deeper about what I really have seen or believed my impact has been. That's what's making
All right.
me, I want to think about that.
And in order to refresh yourself, would you like to have your
Oh, yes,
survey data?
my answers, that'd
Right.
be great, yes.
And then what I did on this page, I did do some highlighting, because I think that as you and I work together, you have somewhat agree on the support that you're receiving.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things I can do as a liaison, is support you through observation, feedback, and help you with some of the gaps that you see in
That's
this data.
great, yes.
All right?
All
So
right.
here's your data as well, and this
Okay.
is yours to keep.
Okay, and I get to
then
keep the
You
protocol.
get to keep that, and
Yeah.
Mary, what I'll do is put together our notes from today and shoot you an email.
That'd be great.
All right.
Thanks, Sue.
So, how was this coaching session for you?
You know, it was good. It was, I was able to reflect, I think, pretty quickly, but I think the way you coded the survey data allowed me to look really quickly, so I appreciate that. And I appreciate some time to think now.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Mary.
Thank you.
See you
All right.
Tuesday.